Welcome to the Christian Life Coach Collective. I'm your host and coach, Laura Malone, and I'm here to help you become the hero of your own story and learn to be a guide to others. Whether you're a life coach in any niche or you want to become one, or you're just listening in so you can self-coach to lead your own life well, this podcast is here to serve you. I'm super excited to walk with you into your calling and help you create a wonderful legacy for your life. So let's jump in to today's episode. Hey friends, I want to share some fun news with you before we jump into today's episode about walking into your calling. The Greenhouse Life Coach Training and Certification course is now easier than ever, more accessible than ever to get started in if you have any interest in being trained as a life coach with Sterling & Stone. First of all, it's now on demand, so you don't have to wait for the doors to open. You don't have to wait for someone else to say go. You could literally go to the website right now and sign up and get started on Module 1. And then each module unfolds to you every week for a total of 10 modules. And then you get access to the Greenhouse Society, which is a private Facebook group of all the Greenhouse students and alumni. That's where you share the homework you're doing and make friends with other coaches, get feedback on your stuff, and learn together. Then you get to jump on a call every other week with me and the coaches in the Greenhouse for question and answer time and live coaching on whatever you are in the middle of right where you're at in the course. And even better, there's now 3 different payment plans. So I've transitioned from one learning platform to another because it gave more opportunity to make this accessible for my audience. And I know that my audience is mostly made up of Christian women who, trying to make a way, trying to get through the messy middle, and you have stuff inside of you. You want to do something. You want to leave a legacy. You want to bless your family. And, you've got braces to pay for and car payments and all the stuff of life. And I know what that's like. So I wanted to create something that was accessible and made for you. So now you can either pay in full, make 3 separate payments, or guess what? This is my favorite one. You can pay for the course over 12 months, which I think is amazing because that wasn't available before I moved to this new platform. And it makes it so much more accessible to you guys because I hate for you to want something and not be able to have it because it's too much money all at once. So I love payment plans personally. And the payment plans are what has actually helped me do the most important things that I've needed to do. So I hugely believe that what you get inside the course is above and beyond the price of it because I'm literally walking you through more than 20 different tools that you can use inside your client sessions. I'm also teaching you how to set up your coaching practice and think of it like a doctor's practice. You've got a practice. It's a little bit different and separate from your business. It's actually how will you practice and show up as a coach. That means you're looking into who you are as a coach and what you bring to the table. And I'm teaching you all of the foundations of coaching, like what to say and what not to say, confidentiality and contracts. And you get your scheduler set up, your intake forms, discovery calls, lots and lots of templates and checklists and spreadsheets for you. I teach you how to structure your sessions and begin to build out your signature offer, evaluate yourself as a coach, take great notes, create your own tools, contextualize my tools to your niche, and so much more. So if any of this sounds exciting to you, jump to sterlingandstonementoring.com/the greenhouse today and sign up because you could totally be trained and certified with Sterling & Stone by the end of 2022 if you get in this week. There's not that many weeks left in this year, which is crazy when I looked at the calendar. That would be amazing. Such an amazing start to the new year, wouldn't it? So I just had to share with you about the greenhouse because I'm so excited for women like you to have access to the kind of training I never had, but really wanted when I started out. Most trainings are just, they're like thousands of dollars to get real training and actually be able to talk to people and process what you're doing. And I just never had enough to do that. So I kept cycling through the mindset of, how do they expect me to pay so much for their training when I have no money and no clients to help pay for it? So I was like, I don't want to go get into college debt here and to see if I want to do something with my degree. Like, I know I could do this. I know I've been doing it. I just need somebody to show me a path that's clear. So that's what I've created. And I'm just going to keep creating things that I wish that I had to make them easy and accessible and profitable, beneficial to you. And if you've been listening recently or just following the numbered episodes, we've currently been in a series about dreams and callings. And today we're talking about what it looks like to actually walk into your calling once you've determined what it is to some degree. First off, I highly recommend you submit it all to prayer. And in fact, you can just pray this prayer with me, but please don't close your eyes if you're driving. That's my only caveat. Jesus, I come to you with a willing and open heart to seek your face and to know your will. Lead me into your calling on my life for this next season and show me how you uniquely design me to reveal you to the world and to bring the kingdom of heaven to earth. I bring my desires, my hopes, my longings, and my will to you, and I submit them all in prayer with thankfulness that you hear me and you're going to answer me. I'm knocking on this door. I'm asking for your guidance, and I'm seeking your will, so I have great expectancy that you're going to respond. In your name I pray. Amen. Secondly, here are some questions to consider. How does this calling fit into your current life season? And does it fit? Not just how does it fit, but does it fit? If you feel called to be a missionary to Africa, but you have a full-time job and 5 children right now, does that calling fit into this current life season? Is there a better future season for it? And some callings are seasonal. Is this calling one of those? Is it a seasonal calling, or have you really kind of dug down and found your lifelong calling, right? So I want you to think about those things. How does it fit? Does it fit? Would it fit better into a future season? And is it a seasonal calling or more of a lifelong calling? Okay. I had a seasonal calling of deploying to crisis and taking my kids and homeschooling. So homeschooling was a seasonal calling. Deploying into crisis was a seasonal calling. A lifelong calling for me is mothering, mentoring, business. I would say business has always been deep inside of me, and I love the marketplace. I love entrepreneurship, but because of other seasonal callings on my life as a mom, moving around and in ministry, those seasonal callings actually prevented me from being in business. But now I'm in that more of a moment of convergence, a season of convergence where my seasonal callings have shifted and making room for lifelong callings to rise up and manifest. So what's that look like for you? And what can you do to actually take your first action and move forward into that calling? Right now, stop and think, what is the one thing you can do? Is it something on the computer? Is it a phone call you have to make? It doesn't have to be big. It could just be journaling it. It could be writing out notes about it, taking action. Imperfect action. Take imperfect action. It simply means that you're not going to wait for complete perfection about what to do, complete certainty. You're not waiting for that. You're just moving forward. And then I want you to think about who you can share this with that's going to be supportive. Is there anybody you can just chat with about it as you start stepping into it. And what does life look like if you step into this calling and you're successful? Can you create a little bit of a vision, write out, put this in a bunch of documents in a folder on your computer. If you're a paper person, a graph person, a bullet journal person, get it out of your head. Do a big brain dump like we did with the dreams. Do a big brain dump about this calling and actually get everything about it out of your head, out of your heart, and onto a piece of paper or in a document. And I want you to really think about, what does it look like if I did this and it worked? Have some vision, right? You're getting in a boat, you're crossing the ocean, and there's an island over there that you really want to get to. What does it look like? What do you imagine it to be like when you land on that horizon? And I also want you to think about, what does life look like if you don't take action and give this a shot? What's it look like if you stay where you are? My last question is, are you ready and willing to take a risk and walk in faith? I know that God is with you. I know He's super proud of you, His daughter, because you're wanting to grow and nurture what's been planted inside of you. And lastly, remember, Noah built an ark without knowing about the need for one. All he had was a word from God that made everybody else think he was cray-cray, right? But he went and he did it anyway. And I think that we're all eternally grateful for crazy man Noah, who did his thing blindly. He had to have faith. We're talking Hebrews 11, right? It's the Hall of Fame. Faith fame? What do we call that? Hall of Faith fame? Hall of Faith. He had to just start doing something with what he believed was in him to do. And the world around him didn't look like they needed a boat. Not one that big, especially. The world didn't know that they needed that boat. So yeah, his thing to do in the world, it wasn't very fun, right? But it obviously was worth it. And what he was called to do actually ended up being super traumatic for him and his family. Talk about survivor's guilt. Come on. But that's likely not the case for you. You have something that will bless the world around you, bring joy and light, and show the world around you who God the Father is. You're going to release beauty. You're going to solve problems. You're going to answer questions. Well, unless God told you to build an ark, but then maybe shoot me an email so I'm in the know, will you? Sorry. Rabbit trail. You are called to serve the world and do greater things than Jesus did. So here I am, with my passion to equip and release you, calling you up and out, showing you the way, telling you it's possible, and that I believe you can figure it out if you commit to just taking action. I don't remember who said it. I don't remember where I heard it, but I know somebody once said, you have a green light to go. God is giving you a green light all of the time until that moment when you know you have a red light. Stop living like you live at a red light. Live like you have been given a stream of green lights to go through, and don't stop until the light actually turns red. But don't live your life like every light in front of you is red and you're just desperate waiting for a green light. I would say you're colorblind. The light has been green all of this time, and He's just been waiting for you to put your foot on the gas. He wants to bless you. He wants to give you His favor. He wants to go with you. The world needs what's inside of you, and what's inside of you needs to be released. And somebody also once said that faith is spelled R-I-S-K, right? You need to walk into your calling without seeing everything clearly and fully. But just know that you're in a huge club with the rest of us. That's what we're here doing. We're all just having faith and taking risks, small ones, medium-sized risks, big ones. We're walking life doing that. And we don't know what we know until later, right? When we look backwards at it. We're walking in faith, following the Lord the best we know how. We're facing challenges every day. We're growing our faith muscles. We're overcoming. And you are doing this too, even if you're not recognize it. And you can do it as it pertains to your calling. So go get yourself a dream ally, get yourself a coach, take some classes, nearby, online, whatever. Start just taking some action. Start pressing in and listening to God. I'm with you in it. I believe in you. And I know that all things are possible when we believe in God. And I know for a fact that He is for you too. So believe it, right? And if you're feeling at all like coaching could potentially be part of your calling, then book a coaching clarity session with me. Let's talk it out. Let's see. Let me help you figure out if that is part of your calling. Or if you're not clear about your calling at all, then book a calling clarity session. So let's process through your life experience and through your passions, your dreams, your current life responsibilities. Let's go look at what's possible. Sometimes you just need somebody to tell you if something is possible or feasible or worth trying. And sometimes you need somebody to help you get out of your own way. So, hi, my name is Laura. Nice to meet you. That's what I do. So I'd love to help you dig up the gold inside and start writing the next chapter of your amazing story. That is my favorite thing in the world to do. That's my calling. And I love my job because I get to do the thing I'm called to do, that I love doing, that I have been called to since I remember the day when I was 22, newly saved, at a women's conference, and I knew that I would be serving women. I knew that I would. It took a long time. It's taken, well, at this point, that was 24 years ago, and I've been doing it to some degree throughout all of these years, and I've definitely been doing it at home with my girls, but now it's a different level. It's a different season, and this calling is going to manifest differently in this season. What is your calling in this season? And what are you going to do about it? How are you going to take action? Are you going to book a session? Are you going to go online and do some searching? Are you going to buy a new notebook and journal about what's going on in your heart? I don't care what it is, but I am telling you, the world needs you. You're here for such a time as this on purpose, and you've got to get that into your belief system. Believe that whoever you are, no matter where you are, no matter where you've been, no matter what you've done, no matter what has happened to you, it is all culminating in who you are right now and the calling on your life in this season. It is about the rest of the story. It's about this chapter. And it's powerful. It's in you. It's meant to be. And I'm desperate for you to get it out of you and start walking in it. I'm desperate for it to become a path in front of you, for your voice to be released, and for what is in you to be made known to the world, because you are made in the image of your Father, and He needs to be seen the way you are called and uniquely designed to reveal Him. Oof. All right. That was good. I wish somebody had told me that 40 years ago, 35 years ago, 30 years ago, 5 years ago. I wish somebody had told me that last month. I wish I'd had people telling me that. And I don't even care if those people knew me. I wish that people had told me. And if you've never been told this before, I apologize on behalf of all the people who were responsible for telling you. It seriously hurts my heart that as women, just as humans in general, we don't have the mothers and fathers in our lives that are speaking to us, that are mentoring and calling us up and encouraging us. The Bible says there's too many teachers. There's so many teachers, but there's not enough mothers and fathers. And Malachi 4, 5, and 6 is all about the hearts of mothers and fathers turning towards children, and the hearts of children turning towards the mothers and fathers. And you're part of that. You have a voice that needs to be spoken. You have a story that needs to be shared. And maybe some of you will actually help manifest that through a modern day discipling tool of coaching. Some of you are going to write books. Some of you are going to go on to be speakers. Some of you are going to mother the people in your neighborhood or at work. You're going to mentor people. Some of you are going to use your story across the street, and some of you will use it across the world. It doesn't matter. Not one is greater than the other, because the one right in front of you, where God puts you, that's the most important one. That is the person who needs to hear your story and know what is inside of you, the light of Jesus that is meant to be shined into this world. So I'm calling you up, girl, and telling you it is time. And I'm telling you to pass this episode on to other women in your life that need to hear the truth. And I bless you, and I am always praying for you that you would know how to let your spirit lead your soul, the Spirit of God within you, rise up and lead your soul, lead your body into all truth, that you'd be in alignment with God's will for you, that you would believe in His love for you, and you would just know all things are possible when you believe in Him, when you believe what He says to you. And I want to tell you what He's saying. Okay, friends, until next time, have a wonderful week. Hey, thanks for listening. And I would love it if you could leave me a review wherever you listen to this podcast and tell me what you're loving about it. It helps other people who are looking for transformation and change and growth in their lives find me. And if you want to learn about becoming a coach with any of your superpowers, head over to sterlingandstonementoring.com and check out the Greenhouse course. See you there.